Good evening, everyone. Welcome to this Creative Warrior online program powered by Vidyadaan. Here I'm Pooja Arora and welcoming you all as we are celebrating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Today I have a very young, very vibrant and very, talented team with me. A team of Palette
Ma?
69. Yes. Uh, So here we are talking about metaverse today. What is metaverse? Metaverse, we are talking about storytelling, metaverse, and job opportunity with Team Palette69. And here I'd like to mention about metaverse as a concept of persistent online 3D universe that combines multiple visual spaces like an imaginary world. You can think of it as a future iteration of the internet. And I am sure Team Pellet will be able to guide us more on that. But Metaverse will allow us to work, meet, play and socialize together all in the 3D space. So as this sounds like a 2050 game, let's invite Team Palette 69 today. So let me quickly invite Mr. Chintal Bharat, a visual designer, a multidisciplinary visual designer, producing a sweet spot between design and problem solving. Bharat brings brand into being. Chanchal Verma, we have, she's a communication designer coming in with a strong knowledge of graphic design and marketing. She helps deliver the best products and strategies to research masses, to reach masses. Saurav Pradhan is an art director. Having a strong passion for art, Saurav has always been a creative aspirant. With a keen and discerning eyes, he has an art directed project and brought them to life. Kajal Tyagi is also with us. She's a talent acquisition specialist, leading in with the strong mindset. Kajal has experience with talent recruitment and help build up the organization. And when we are talking about this young team, the team of Palette 69, Palette 69 is a design studio situated in Hyderabad. To give you a quick detail about Palette 69, I think they are renowned for business, including ITC and Bear, and they have worked with them. And let's invite them and let's learn more about Palette 69 from all these young and beautiful and good looking people over there. So, welcome you all here.
Yeah.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
Pooja.
Pooja. Thank you for introducing all of us. That was a great introduction. So let us also introduce ourselves a little more about what we do and what we are and how Palette
Yes.
69 does it.
Yes,
So yeah,
so let's start with Palette 69's introduction first. We want to know about the brief and then introduction of the team, please.
yeah, cool.
Over to
Uh,
you.
yeah. So basically what Palette 69, like I'll just give you a brief introduction what we do here. So we are a multi-dimensional studio where we deal with graphics, motion, 3D and art, like anything related to design and everything. And we work with a variety of services like from art direction to branding to motion graphics to AR, VR, might be UI, UX and everything like anything related to that. And a lot more that you name it. So being as already Pooja you have told like being like a creative team and also young one. So we are here like storytellers, artists, designers, researchers, and everyone like you name them. We usually help our clients with more than what they ask for, and I feel like it comes to naturally to us who all we work with us. So we are constantly like evolving and learning together to bring great services for our clients too. So basically, like what this is what Palette 69 does and what Palette 69 is.
Great, sir. Let's hear it from the ladies first. Let's hear it from Kajal. Kajal, if you can introduce yourself a little.
Sure, thanks, Pooja. First of all, hello everyone. It is a pleasure to be here today interacting with you all. And I'm Kajal and I'm from Delhi. I have done my graduation from Delhi University and I am a talent acquisition specialist at Palette 69. And I have a good experience in talent acquisition and people management. And currently, I'm helping the Palette69 with same. Basically, I used to analyze the requirement of talent in the organization and fulfill that with the required experience, skills, and knowledge. And I also am involved with the internal team if they have any job related problems or they require any help from company side. I like interacting with people so much. So I think this is the good part of my job. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kajal. Let's get back to Chanchal now.
Yeah. Hi everyone. Good evening. I hope everyone's doing well. And it's honestly so great to be here today and to be able to share what we do with every day with you guys. And yeah, I am Chanchal. I am a communications designer at Palette69. I've been designing for quite some time and I've been associated with Palette69 since last year. And ever since then, it has been a great journey. I've learned a lot, and yeah, I am hoping to learn a lot more. To come down to what my role is, as a communication designer, it could sound a little bit, the term could sound a little bit new to some of you. But as communication designer, what my role is to customize designs to cater to various audiences. And sometimes I've also required to create visuals that cater to various platforms like social websites and social media platforms. Um, at times, I'm also required to, collaborate with other teams like the video team and of course the marketing team. I've helped with a few campaigns that we have done in the company. And yeah, besides my job, I also do my own passion projects. So that really keeps me in the flow of designing. And yeah, I guess that's all about me. I hope we can make this talk or workshop, insightful for all of us. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Let's hear it from Saurav Pradhan. Saurav.
Yeah, hi, hi Pooja, hi everyone. First of all, I'd like to say that it's such an honor to be a part of this webinar. Thank you for having us. So I'm an artist and I'm an art director at Palette69. So basically what my job requires me to do is oversee art related projects, create compelling visual designs, for projects, and also directing a team of artists, on like how to go about doing a project. And that part is a bit challenging sometimes. So, and like one important aspect of my job is creatively calculating our approach towards a project. So yeah, but at the core of what I do is drawing. So I draw a lot because I'm an artist. So yeah, so over the years, I've worked in several projects in Palette69. But apart from all the normal projects, I'd say I'm currently working on a metaverse project as well. We're developing NFTs, like everything related to the metaverse. So yeah, and ever since metaverse and NFTs came into picture, which was like only a few years back, I've been pretty much invested into this whole scene. So yeah, I hope we get to talk to you guys about that. And yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. So as here we are talking about metaverse, a new technology or a new terminology which has been in picture just of late. We have started hearing about the terminology metaverse, and it's a huge buzzword actually in the tech scene lately. Could you guys please explain what the metaverse is all about?
Yeah, so Pooja, just to get you started, metaverse, like you said, has been thrown around the internet quite a lot these days. Even Facebook changed their name to Meta. I mean, everyone is aware of that. So like when you just look at the word metaverse is a combination of two different words, meta and verse, verse being short for universe. So what that means is meta is actually a Greek word that means across or beyond, and universe as you know it is is where we're living. Universe is the present, is the reality. So when you bring those two words together, we get metaverse, and what that means is a universe that is beyond this universe. So what we're referring to when we say that is a virtual universe, a universe which is entirely digital, which is beyond this universe. So yeah, that is what the term metaverse means. So now, to a layman, you could say a metaverse is a digital virtual world which is powered by modern technologies. Like you said, Pooja, like at the beginning of this session, you said a newer version of the internet. One could interpret metaverse as such. So yeah, but except metaverse is way more immersive than the internet as we know it now. And metaverse also offers a brand of new experiences, and like with the use of VR technology and AR technology, sometimes combined, sometimes separately. It's also a space where one could socialize and connect. Like we have these apps now, like how we're connecting right now, Zoom. So except metaverse, in a metaverse, one would connect in a more three-dimensional lifelike format. So yeah, that is what a metaverse is. Like, to think about it more clearly, you could think of an example. Like we have these games. I'm sure, like everyone has played a role-playing game at least once in their lifetime. To cite an example, a game could an RPG game is Grand Theft Auto. It's a pretty common example. So yeah, metaverse is something like that, except like you're literally inside the game and you look around, like you see game environments, and like you're interacting with your friend or like whoever it is, in a very lifelike manner. So in a nutshell, that is what metaverse is.
And yeah, so a little more about metaverse, digging deep into that. So we understood what exactly layman perspective and layman understanding of metaverse is. So going a depth into it, like metaverse is already, like as Saurav said, it's a virtual space, created by merging of virtually enhanced physical reality with physically like the virtual spaces that you are around us. So you can say it as like it's a sum of all virtual worlds, augmented reality, like the short form of AR, and the internet altogether. So it is a mix between what is real and what is virtual. You can say metaverse is a creation of a world that, like the futuristic world, or the world that we're talking about, where people can come, they can create whatever they want, they can collaborate with each other, they can experience them, they can engage with all the others, and they can explore endless possibilities. And it's a world with no distinction between our digital avatars or physical selves of us. And when talking about this digital avatars and like the physical selves, you might think that it might be a replacement. Some might think that it's a replacement of physical world, but it's not exactly a replacement of physical world, but it's an alternative to that, which brings into our life more adventure and opportunities which were never possible before. If we look through a bigger lens, we are already in the metaverse. However, like if you say like 1D, such as text apps, like example WhatsApp, Telegram, and Instagram, where you text with each other, where you talk to them. Like 2D, such as Zoom, like already Saurav has mentioned it, Zoom that we're talking right now in, and Google Meet. There are many applications where you see and talk to each other in a virtual space, and some productivity apps like Google Sheets, and where you come to 2.5D, such as games like Fortnite and any other that you engage and play with. Whereas when you come to 3D, that's with what is metaverse. In terms of AR and VR, is still in a work in progress kind of a state. So basically, if we talk about the experiences that metaverse is going to offer us, you can characterize them into like you can characterize them as immersive experiences. Like then they can be social experiences, they can be real time experiences. You can characterize them like that. But going on a biggest, like what biggest experience that metaverse is introducing us to is the kind of the way humans interact with each other. It's creating common places wherein like they are involved in, such as businesses, education, entertainment, even your personal lives. Are like these are the places that we are involved in. Short, you can say it as a community for creative minds or creators around us, but in a decentralized organization instead of centralized organization.
Wonderful. It sounds like, seriously, it sounds like the future. So if we talk about the universe and the metaverse, I'm sure are going to be in the curriculum soon for the students also. So they are in pace with where with where the globe is, where the country, or I'll say where the world is going. So talking about the metaverse today, right? 2019, when we used to prefer everything physical, everything was physical, we were meeting physically, we never used to like these kind of online interactions, although I'll say this is a positive thing, because here we do not have to set the boundaries or the times, and sitting at our own places we are able to meet. But do you think COVID actually became a game changer? Do you think COVID has played a big part in a way we now look at the creative industry? So, how do you really think, if COVID accelerated this digitalization and metaverse and created this industry with a big rise?
Yeah, Pooja, I feel like pandemic has changed a lot of things, over the course of time. People have realized that, going to the office and working from the office isn't actually very necessary. You can do the work you did at your office from your homes, from the comfort of your bed. So that is something people have realized, like, ever since the pandemic. So I feel like because of that, the creative landscape has changed quite a lot. uh, Even in when you're working at offices, what people do is, like, they make their cubicle as comfortable as they can, like they try to make it very homely, so that they feel like they're, like, very comfortable working, like as if they're working from their home itself. So I feel like when people work from the comfort of their homes, it's a chance for creativity to thrive, and, like, maybe the productivity also increases. Maybe that's true for some people and not for many. So so yeah, with the onset of new technologies, like we're talking about, metaverse, NFTs, I feel like creatives these days, like, they're like pushing themselves to adapt to this new form of technology. And as a result of that, we've seen a wave of metaverse projects, NFTs, like, floating around the internet quite a lot. NFTs recently gone viral. So, like, we've seen such things happen a lot, and because of that, we see lots of creatives trying to get into the market, trying to get into NFTs, the whole scene. And because of that, like, there's this bull run cash grab sort of a thing happening. And 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 like the and like, why wouldn't you, I'd say, because NFTs are like free money. They were like free money, like, quite a few years back. It's like, here's free money, like, would you want it or not? So, like, there's a simple answer to that. So yeah, but recently the hype over NFTs and metaverse has sort of, like, diffused. And ever since that has happened, ever since NFTs, and metaverse, all the market is going down, I feel like there's this sense of awareness that has come over all the creatives. Like, they've started to look beyond what NFTs meant for them. NFTs are, they've started to look into the real usage, utility of NFTs and metaverse, and what they can provide to us, in the future. So yeah, so I feel like the creative industry right now, like, they have a really good foresight into the future as a result of this, like, new wave of technology.
Yeah, and also just mentioning other things about this. For a very long time, also this entertainment has always been a source of escape for everyone in the real world. They used to watch movies, they used to play games, and everything before that. But after pandemic, entertainment just not it was not just an entertainment. It also played an essential role to balance our mental health from all the negative, like the news floating everywhere besides us, and listening from everyone besides us. So also it played a vital role and a source to connect with our closed ones. If you're caught up with your family, in a place in the pandemic time, you have got a good opportunity to spend time with your family, or you're caught up in the different places. You engage with them on virtually, like calling on Zooms and Skype and everywhere. So together, like you have spent much time to games, movies, and many more that we name it. So to give a small visual how COVID, this got a change in this life. According to a study like the which is commissioned by Vivo that I've recently seen, the average usage of smartphones by especially Indians is estimated to have gone up to 25% to almost, like, if you say it, in 7 hours a day, as people like they were depending on these gadgets for work or study from home and entertainment in the phones again during this pandemic. To compare with before COVID, it was just 4.9 hours on average, like you just said, Pooja, 2019. So usage of social media time has increased a lot. Like if you know it is a percentage, it's 55% for the social media, and gaming has almost increased up to 45% where it is. See, and this made us know the role of digital spaces actually, and the role of it that it's playing right now, and the opportunities it is offering us. Previously, do people used to enjoy and use this social media, like digital platforms and social media platforms, you name them, but they didn't knew the true potential of this until they all shifted to the digital spaces from the physical world. Like an example, when you talk about a consumer or a person of all ages going online for everything, for purchasing, like from food to cars to doctor visits and everything that you do it now on the virtual spaces. So, in an industry space, if we talk about this pandemic, in a way, it has magnified the previous trend in which many of the traditional corporations, which are tried to create or participate in digital ecosystems, but they didn't succeed as they didn't know these things were already there in the market, and people were not aware of it. These digital ecosystems, they consist of interconnected sets of services, through which users can fulfill a variety of cross-sectoral needs in one integrated experience. So by seeing such a major inclination, like all happening around us from like COVID time and during that and past COVID, major this inclination, all have moved towards digital ecosystems by which giants, like giant companies and organizations, they are gamifying their platform to convert all these experiences to the metaverse. Also, to mention institutions like training institutions and educational institutions, we suggest like they should incorporate some like design courses, perfectly courses that are designed for students to pertain to this growth needs, such as like in the basics of blockchain, tokenomics and economics, gamification, and not just including these courses, giving them a practical knowledge from the early stages of learning when they do it.
Great. So as you have given the example of usage of mobile phones are being used as a gaming devices
Right.
nowadays. The games have become a stress buster for all of us, and I myself, even before I go to bed, I am playing at least for 15-20 minutes to get my stress cleared. So what do you think, is gaming also a part of metaverse? Is the games that we are playing today are the same that we talk about metaverse, and it's is it a different thing? Can you do some breakdown of elements
Yeah.
on this?
So gaming is actually like it's a part of metaverse where I've already told you, like you engage with the games, you experience them. But right now we are doing it in a 2D space. But in a metaverse, you do it in a 3D space where you enter the spaces using the VR glasses or AR in the mobile, like any virtual elements that you use for. So before, like like talking about those, basically we need to like what know what metaverse is built of, like what different features that or breakdowns we can talk about. So generally, metaverse, it's built on combination of three technologies together. If you to say like, so one is Web 3.0, and the other one is blockchain and NFTs. So you can say this is a like metaverse is a combination or intersection between these three technologies that make up the metaverse. So Web 3.0 being a very huge aspect of what makes the metaverse. Let's just know what basically Web 3.0 is. To a layman to understand, you can just frame it as like read, write, execute phrase, where users can read it, write it, and interact with the content. So this interconnects data in a decentralized way to provide a quick and more personalized user experiences. To know more, like for instance, you can say applications like Apple Siri, Google Assistant, and Amazon Alexa, and many more that you interact with. So this application, what they do is like they summarize large amounts of information into knowledge, and they give you useful actions, and they give you useful insights or actions that you depend on. So to know a bit more about it, we'll just like know how it all started. We'll jump onto like those days when the internet, like the first internet has started that came out, which we used to call it as Web 1.0. You know, so you can term this as read-only web. It only allowed users to search for information and just read it. All it had was simple domain names and few texts on that and some hyperlinks where you click on them, and then these hyperlinks will take you to another static website with some more hyperlinks to it. And like the same way, they were all starting things where you just see them, you look at them. So there was very little in the way of user interaction or content generation. So that was like Web 1.0 initially, when the internet was just about to start. And after that came Web 2.0, the stage which we are currently in. We know what the internet is today. We have all these videos, streaming platforms, gaming platforms, and whatnot. We all which has more very much upgraded into this. This has more user generated content and usability for end users when compared to this earlier version of 1.0. Now we have the ability to do whatever we want. A lot of things like but there are some things again restricted, and they are not possible in 2.0, and that is where we are jumping on to 3.0. And so coming to Web 3.0, as I already mentioned, it's a read, write, execute phase where it makes 3.0 more decentralized, more secured, and more private. So blockchain, which is one of the backbone of Web 3.0, it redefines the data structures in the back end of the web. Again, if you want like talking in a layman terms, what blockchain is, you can say it is a chain of blocks that contain information. It's a digital ledger, just to basically say, it's a digital ledger of transactions that is duplicated and distributed across the entire network of computer systems that are a part of blockchain. Example to give it to more understand it better. So if you buy a car or a land and you sign the documents related to that, so those records are now only with you and the seller, and only you both are aware of those documents, and no one have the access of that information. But wherein in blockchain, it is saved in a block, as I've already told you. This is all like a set of blocks. In these blocks, it is saved as a ledger where it is visible to everyone. Everyone can see the history of it, where it is started, who are its previous owner, and if there are new owners, you can see the information of them, related information about everything. So it's a system. Like this system, records information in a way that it makes it difficult, or even you can say it's impossible to hack or cheat the system. It removes the middleman, and it introduces a governance layer that runs on top of the current internet, that allows for two peoples to who do not know each other or trust each other to reach them and settle agreements over the web. And one of the platforms that being built on this blockchain technology is our other entity, Boolean, which is founded by our own Palette69 founders. So this is a platform that's building on blockchain technology.
Yeah, okay. So I would like to introduce Boolean a bit. Like Bharat has said, if we begin comparing the data from 3 to 5 years ago, it is very evident that there has been like a whole paradigm shift in how we consume media and entertainment, in how we create and collaborate with fellow creators, and even in how we acquire art, we play games, and we create with other creators. And this is where Bullion comes into the picture. Bullion is basically a digital ecosystem that will accelerate your network effect, and it is backed by NFTs, blockchain, and a bunch of fun games where you can engage with your fellow creators, fans, and various communities. um, now the question comes in that what exactly is a digital ecosystem? Like, you guys have been throwing that word around a lot, but what does that exactly mean? To focus on that particular point, a digital ecosystem is basically a network of interconnected companies or products. So like what happens is digital in some cases what happens is a digital ecosystem can consist of two or more companies that come together, and they provide a wider range of products or services to their consumers. But that is not necessarily the case all the time. In other cases, what happens is a single company creates a whole digital ecosystem where they put on all their products and services, and they cater to their audiences. Now, if we have to come back to Bullion, a few minutes ago, I also mentioned a word called communities. So to elaborate more on that point, one of Bullion's very unique offering is that we are an open source culture where with community driven projects, and where you can access a group of group of creators, a group of fans, or a group of artists. And I feel like through all of this collaboration and gamification, Bullion ecosystem will kickstart a very decentralized creative community, which can be a great thing for people who have been coming into media and entertainment lately. And so basically, to sum it up, I think with Bullion you'll be able to curate, create, and collaborate with your fellow creators, your fellow, designers, or motion graphic artists, and even bring your own IPs to the metaverse. Also, if I have to mention, with a marketplace for NFTs and design and interactive multimedia, Bullion also will allow cross-platform storytelling, which is, I feel like, a very necessary tool to showcase your work onto the metaverse, which is again called Visva. Visva is Bullion's marketplace, and where you can design and develop, also publish your works. Through Visva, you'll be able to identify other creators, connect with other creators, artists, and fans. And it can be a lot of fun because the possibilities are nearly endless. So I guess, yeah, that's all about Bullion and Visva.
Okay, wonderful. Now, when you're talking about creating IPs in metaverse, and I'm like awestruck in this because these are completely new terminologies for me. I'm completely talking about a virtual world, and which is like always in imaginations. We have kept the topic as storytelling also. What's the importance of storytelling? And now when you interact on metaverse, does it go original like you and me talking, or is it like some story going on, or some imaginary world in the imagination? So how do you describe that, and how the storytelling of metaverse goes in multiple domains of media and entertainment? Gaming has Every game has their own story to tell. AR, VR, digital mediums. How, like, please elaborate, because I really would like to understand.
Yeah, Pooja. So talking about storytelling is a very important aspect when we're talking about metaverse. I can't emphasize enough how important storytelling is. like you said, what is metaverse? Is there stories inside a metaverse? So when we talk about that, metaverse can be a multitude of things. Like a metaverse can have a story. Some metaverse won't have a story. So just like that, I'd say storytelling is very important. Storytelling, as we know, has been around a very long time. Stories have been, like, we've been told stories ever since we were small. Our parents, our grandparents. I don't even remember the first story I've ever heard, but like I just know that there has been a lot of stories I've been hearing ever since I was small. In fact, my parents, my mother especially, she used to, like, give me life lessons, like, with stories. Like, if I made a mistake, like if I got into trouble somehow, she used to, like, give me an anecdote about about a random stranger doing that same thing, and how he got into trouble and all these problems. So like for every mistake I made, or like every trouble I got into, like, she had a story. So like I'm just trying to say that stories are, like, like, very deeply imbued in us. Stories, like, we learn life lessons from stories. So in that sense, stories are a very fundamental part of, us growing up, and a fundamental part of, us as human beings. Stories are how cultures and heritages are preserved. Like, they have been passed down through generations, like, in the form of stories. So like when you think about it that way, stories are very profound. They help us make sense of the real world. So and like, I don't have to say, like, we all enjoy a good story. Like, we watch movies, we read novels, we read comic books. Like, so like we all have a taste for, stories. So now, like, you might ask, how is storytelling related to metaverse? I'd say that storytelling and stories, they they make a very vital, fundamental part of metaverse. They're like a cornerstone of metaverse, you could say. Just like how every good adventure would need a good narrative, every metaverse would need a good story, I'd say. So, to give you an example, imagine a game where there's no story. Like, you'd just be, like, inside that game world, aimless, like, clueless, don't know what to do next. And like, you'd quickly get bored, and like, you wouldn't be able to make that emotional connection with that game, that connection which keeps you immersed and, like, interested in that game. So if that's missing, then, what's the purpose of being inside that metaverse? What's the purpose of metaverse? So I feel like stories, storytelling, that gives a good sense of purpose to the metaverse, and that is what makes one interested in the metaverse, and like, that is what makes the whole experience immersive, I'd say.
Bharat, would you like to add something?
Yes. So, as already Saurav told, we human beings love stories. So we tell and listen to them every single day. From the time we wake up, we have coffee, and we do everything to the time we go to our beds. So I want to add a bit more to it and explain about a particular storytelling called transmedia storytelling. So it's a practice of telling stories, across multiple media platforms where each medium makes a unique contribution to the story worlds. Any combination of media may be used to do this, like you can say in movies, TV series, online videos, web apps, phone apps, gaming, blogs, radios, advertisements, everything, like which comes under, like, one story. You name it, like you do all around them. So this practice, like, of this transmedia storytelling, it's originated in the entertainment industry in the first, and from there it has been adopted by marketers as a way to promote their brands and services and the products, everything. So stories, like, told through this medium, like this transmedia storytelling, need to make sense to the audience as a part of coherent universe, like, with shared components such as, the characters, visuals, elements, and also the usage of language and the storylines that you narrated. This all should make a sense, like when you talk about a story world. So here in transmedia storytelling, like there's no single place where people can go to, and and they get all the details or the story points of this universe. Instead, this this story points exist across all the medium that we already told, like multiple mediums, without repetition from one medium to another to make it very different. Just to give an example, like basic example of transmedia storytelling can be film plus TV series plus comic book plus games, and all this together like can be said as transmedia story. And where like in the film you talk about the stories around these characters. In the series, TV series, you make these people engage, like you give that sudden like interactions, those interesting points to it. Comic book where you enjoy yourself by reading them more into it, and game where you be those characters, you play those characters and you enjoy the environment, you experience them. So basically this is how like it happens in the this kind of storytelling. So house party, so this one such product, like house party is one such product that's being built on boolean, our own boolean, using this transmedia storytelling. So our artist like Saurav will take you deep dive into the storytelling of the house party.
Wow, house party, Boolean, NFT. I'll be very honest. It's hard for me to learn so many terminologies, in the same on the same day. But it's really exciting. What is house party? Like as a layman, see it as a party going on or something. It's really kind of a cool thing. Let's talk a little bit more about it, and
Yeah,
then we'll
sure.
move to job opportunities.
Yes. So, Pooja, to just to give you a gist of what House Party is basically an IP that we're creating in house. It's a metaverse that we're creating. Like House Party has been in development for about 2 years now. So, House Party is a story set in the future of AI. Uh, future where different universes, like creatures from different universes, cross borders, and like they come into earth as we know. And in this very chaotic world, we follow seven orphans who've like grown together, and these seven orphans happen to be very closely associated with the seven deadly sins also. So like these seven orphans, like as they've grown together, they know nothing about the world that's around them. So together they're trying to make sense of this world, fighting monsters, fighting evil robots, fighting society, fighting like their evil neighbor. So yeah, that is what house the brief of what House Party is, as a story. And what we're trying to do here is we're trying to create a cross platform entertainment, like Bharat said earlier. And in that, what we're trying to do is like we're not just creating this story, like we're trying to make a game out of it, a play to earn game. Like we'll be creating NFTs. So like there's this entire different forms of media that we're incorporating to uh, create this very immersive world for you all to enjoy. So yeah, so like if you want to check it out, you can like go to the House Party website. It's housepartyuniverse.com. We even have a Discord. You can join, be involved in the development. You can be a part of the community and see how this IP grows from where it is now.
Wonderful. So a new IP house party. I'm definitely gonna try it. Post this session. How about we now discuss on the job opportunities? When we are talking about metaverse as a new world or a lot of opportunities and a lot of new things, do you see this will bring in a lot of job opportunities as well?
Talking about the job opportunities in metaverse, we economy. So in growing in coming 5 to 10 years, the metaverse is expected to possess a booming job market. And also in 3D world, which is powered by augmented and virtual reality technologies, where people can work, socialize, play, and also they can have high-paying jobs. Metaverse or a job in AR, VR, or a cryptocurrency is that you can meet people in both real world and virtual world, right? And you can look for the job opportunities like AR, VR engineers, product managers, 3D game designers, storytellers, hardware engineers, also metaverse marketing specialist, cybersecurity, and NFT strategist. And I would like to tell you about the skills required in these opportunities. So, if you are looking for an engineer role, engineer in a front end or in a back end or a full stack role, so you will need to have experience with, I can say, JavaScript, React, TypeScript, Node.js, like these type of coding languages, and also distributed system integrations, and along with the strong knowledge in NFT and blockchain. So, and other skills also, and you can think about showcasing your talent with some sample projects you have created. And if you're looking for a designer or a creative role in Metaverse, then you can make sure your portfolio is up to date with design sketches and your avatars you have created and product design templates. And, or yeah. And if you are looking for a marketing job in Metaverse, maybe then you can do some growth hacking. You can create a viral NFT and blockchain. Also, you can launch a creative social media campaign for yourself so that it can enhance your marketing skills. If and as an NFT strategist, if you're looking as an NFT strategist, then um, you will be required to have a deep knowledge in blockchain, in NFT concepts, programs, and then you would have to analyze industry trends to provide actionable strategic insights and opportunities. Also, additionally, you can create strategies to combine NFT concepts, gamifications, and tactical implementation and designs to create engaging user experiences. Similarly, if you're looking for a product management role, so that would also need a strong knowledge in NFT and blockchain. And in order to work in a metaverse company, you would be responsible for product marketing of social experience in VR, AR. You would be enhancing the remote presence and expanding the human connections. Also, would be involved in inbound phase of product marketing and strategy, informing the outbound marketing with the internal partners. And your main focus can be understanding users' point of view, clients' point of view, stakeholders' point of view, gathering feedback of theirs, and seizing the right opportunities. Also, and if we're looking for a role in cybersecurity, as we can say, like everything would be online, everything would be virtual. So I think cybersecurity would be play a important role in metaverse. So in cybersecurity, also you would require a great knowledge about cyber world, NFT, blockchain, also these type of coding languages also, right? And also, and I would also like to mention, like at Palette69 Boolean, we also offers multiple opportunities in design, developers, marketing, etc. So if you guys are looking to join us, then you can also contact us at hr@palette69.design. Yeah, so that's all about the job opportunities.
Ample of job opportunities coming in the way of in creative field, I must say. So when Kajal was talking about so many opportunities, it was clicking my mind also to ask her for the email address, and she gave it herself. So it's really great. Thank you, Kajal. I'm sure many people would have noted it. And you're talking about job opportunity in metaverse, so seems like a new era of creative world is going to be there, employed specifically for this virtual world which is metaverse. how do you distinguish? This is my last question, and I can't stop myself from asking this. How do you think students should prepare to get into to the jobs for metaverse related activities? Like you've said 3D and all, but anything in specific you guys or this industry is looking for?
Yeah. So it should not be like just not talk about specific parts of it. To get into metaverse, it's basic like all the things that we discussed right now from the starting. Having a basic knowledge of what metaverse is about, and as a designer, if you talk about, you don't need to like get stick to one part of it. Like only you design it and it's there in the marketplace or in the metaverse. Right now, like when we focused on Boolean, our own product, our own platform. So Boolean is a place where you can do much more than than NFTs. It's a cross-platform storytelling like, platform where, and Visva being a marketplace, it's just not it's not just a marketplace for selling and buying your designs. So going on like in the future, so we are also involving many aspects like joining with your own drives that matches your requirements on design projects or any other projects that you have in your mind to collaborate with each other. Everything can be possible here. So just not to stick to one part of it. You can have a vast knowledge around metaverse, NFTs that's going surrounding us, and all the aspects related to that, not specifically again. So that's how a student should be at least be ready in like basically in every part of this metaverse. When you talk about creative industry, it's again a different part. But yeah, metaverse included. It's that how a student should be ready.
Yeah, Bharat, to that, I'd like to add a small point. I just like to say, as a creative, metaverse has real world applications, much like the real world, so just be as creative as you can. If you're an artist, if you're a designer, just keep at it, keep doing what you do. And eventually, like if you're interested in metaverse, you will find something to do in metaverse, but like just be technologically aware, like just be aware of, what's happening in the metaverse scene, the NFTs. Just be aware of that, and like just be as creative as you can, keep doing what you do.
And yep, guys. So metaverse is all about like exploring your endless possibilities. Your imagination is your like endless. So you get started with your opportunities around us and start your metaverse explorations.
Wow, this session with these young people, creative minds, I must say. We have a brand created named Creative Warriors. And, somehow I feel like calling you guys a Creative Warriors who are talking about a metaverse,
That's great to
sitting
be
on
like
a
thanks to
virtual
that.
platform.
So that's what, yeah, all about metaverse is right now. That's something that we are doing here in the virtual spaces. We are interacting with each other, and this is something that's a part of metaverse. You can say that.
Yes, and it's really exciting. So, anything in specific you'd like to guide the students about who are looking forward to, enter in their industry, maybe in a year or 2 years? Do you think the technology is going to change a lot?
Yeah, I feel like technology is always changing, like the only constant is change, as they say. So like, but like you just have to keep yourself educated, like keep yourself aware of what's happening, what are the changes that are happening. And like by doing that, you'll eventually come to know like in which part of the like the technology or like the metaverse you'll fit right into. So just once you know where you will fit, you'll know what to do, and like like just focus on that, and like try to build your portfolio or whatever it is, according to that, and like you'll get there.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for these words, Saurav. I'm sure students will definitely learn from it. And before I thank you all, I'd like to mention about our upcoming session, which is on a real world. Now we'll come back to reality. It's on how to start producing music as a beginner. So we'll be meeting Mr. Mukul Singh. He's a music producer, composer, keyboard artist, and a folkish record label founder. So we'll meet Mukul Singh on June 3rd and learn how to start producing music as a beginner. And yes, coming back to the metaverse and the very exciting, I'll be very honest, Bharat and Team Pellet, that I was really excited about this webinar. Since the day I got to know we are doing something on metaverse, it was like, wow, a new thing. And I am equally excited after, even after almost, this session is coming to an end. I'm really happy to meet you all. Really excited how this young generation is doing so much, and which is going to change how we actually see the world in future. So thank you so much, Team Pellet, for giving us this opportunity to have you as our guest.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you
for
so
having
much,
us.
and thank you,
Thank
audience,
you.
for spending your time with us on Saturday evening. So I'll say take care of yourself, and we'll meet soon. And yes, thank you. Have a good weekend. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Team
Thank you,
Pellet.
guys.
Thank
Pleasure
you.
having you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.